Explosive unsealed documents just dropped, names of presidents, celebrities, royals, and we're diving straight in, no fluff. The newly released Epstein files include flight logs showing Bill Clinton, Donald Trump, Naomi Campbell, Prince Andrew, Michael Jackson, and other prominent figures boarding his private jet, though none face direct charges. Flight records are public, but context and frequency matter, and we're breaking down what's real and what's rumor. A Department of Justice memo clarified there is no formal client list and no evidence of blackmail or payments tied to prominent names, but public skepticism remains high, especially among those demanding elite accountability. In early February, Attorney General Pam Bondi released Phase 1 declassified files, flight logs, contact books, and court documents. Yet critics argue this was a strategic PR move offering little new information to the public. Among the contact entries were Mick Jagger, Michael Jackson, Alec Baldwin, RFK Jr.'s mother, and several redacted masseuses likely victims, but no allegations directly linking those individuals to illegal activity, raising questions about the distinction between association and culpability. In July, the DOJ and FBI published another memo stating no additional file releases are planned due to victim privacy concerns and sealed court orders, igniting backlash from MAGA activists and conservative pundits who accuse former President Trump of breaking his promise to expose the swamp. Social media platforms are ablaze with arguments, conservatives accusing the DOJ of orchestrating a cover-up, while Democrats highlight the importance of protecting victim identities. Senate Finance Committee Chair Ron Wyden alleges the U.S. Treasury is holding roughly $1.1 billion in suspicious wire transfers linked to Epstein-related entities across nearly 5,000 transactions. The Treasury Department maintains these funds are subject to routine investigation processes, but transparency advocates are demanding full accounting. Meanwhile, the Wall Street Journal reported Trump's name appearing several times in the unsealed files per federal insiders, prompting immediate denials from Trump, who called the documents a hoax, and subsequent defamation lawsuits over nude birthday art sketches allegedly included in the files. Today, Trump continues to push his lawsuit narrative, accusing media outlets and the DOJ of weaponizing the files for political gain. On July 18, Bondi and Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche petitioned a federal judge to unseal grand jury transcripts from the Epstein probe, sparking speculation that any release could yield more concrete evidence or further disappoint if heavily redacted. Former prosecutors caution these transcripts often consist of brief redactions and limited context, arguing they rarely reveal eye-opening confessions and primarily serve to protect victim anonymity. In Congress, House Republicans narrowly passed a symbolic resolution urging DOJ transparency, while Democrats counter that releasing too much sensitive information risks secondary trauma to victims and threatens national security. Polling indicates overwhelming public support, over 70%, for full release of the Epstein files, but analysts warn this may fuel partisan divisions rather than shared demands for justice. Ghislaine Maxwell, Epstein's former confidant, remains in federal prison following her 2021 conviction. Recent reports suggest DOJ lawyers under Bondi's direction have met again with Maxwell's legal team regarding sealed evidence, fueling speculation that previously undisclosed information could emerge if Maxwell cooperates further. The stage is set for a potential Phase 2 release, should the court approve it, but victims' rights lawyers remind the public that justice is more than names on a page. Real accountability means criminal charges, financial disclosures, asset forfeitures, and those Epstein associates being held responsible. Transparency advocates, including those aligned with both political parties, warn that without follow-up actions, like freezing of Treasurer-held funds or subpoenas for bank records, this release may amount to little more than public theatre. In the coming weeks and months, we'll be watching for court rulings on the transcript request, any DOJ announcements on additional file releases, and Treasury actions related to Wyden's allegations. Will Pam Bondi stand firm on seeking grand jury materials or cave under pressure? Will Ghislaine Maxwell's continued cooperation unlock new revelations? Will Trump's defamation lawsuit set legal precedents around the use of unsealed documents in political battles? And most importantly, will the DOJ move from passive transparency to active prosecution? For US viewers watching at home, this isn't just about knowing which elites were photographed on Epstein's plane, It's about whether the institutions designed to protect victims and hold the powerful accountable will deliver justice or capitulate to political convenience. This moment demands public attention and pressure. Transparency advocates argue that flight logs, contact books, and government memos without court action are only half measures. Now is the time to ask, should Congress subpoena bank records tied to Epstein's network? Should federal prosecutors launch independent investigations into the individuals named in the files? What does a real accountability roadmap look like, and who's prepared to follow it through? Comment below with who you think will next issue statements, launch lawsuits, or be subpoenaed. Hit like if you want deeper dives into the financial and legal trails. Share this video to keep the spotlight on those pressing for transparency. Subscribe and ring the bell. You won't want to miss our next episode where we'll track every court filing, asset seizure, and possible indictment tied to Epstein's tangled network.